Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome to Breakdown. And today we're going to be talking about State of Wrestling. State of Wrestling is back, and now I said this before, but I'm going to do it again. State of Wrestling and another topical video is probably going to happen. And then also, I wanted to say that the MLW episodes will probably drop occasionally too. I kind of forgot about that. The second time recording this because I tried to record it a few ago, and my wife decided to try and call me in the middle of me doing a video. I was like, oh my god, that's like the baby's asleep. I'm trying to record a video real quick. Anyways, let's get down to the breakdown, the stuff. Pro Wrestling Extreme Rules 2018 was, it wasn't really a good success. For the most part, I think people, they want good wrestling matches, and I think one of the problems, uh, one of the problems with people watching the WWE and New Japan being around and Ring of Honor getting more popular is they want that kind of wrestling to be in the WWE. And that's not the case. It's not going to happen, folks. So you guys need to get over that. The WWE is their kind of wrestling. If you don't like that kind of wrestling, then just don't watch it. But that's what it is. Yes, you can critique stuff. I have no problem with that. But I hate when people like this coldly call a pay-per-view trash when it's not. It's not trash. I've seen so many pay-per-views before that have been, not the greatest pay-per-views of all, but they've had some pretty good stuff happen on and pretty entertaining, and Extreme Rules 2018 kind of falls in that category where everybody's calling it trash and whatever, and, they put some things in some weird orders. I will say that. I will say Backlash was pretty bad, though. What was the pay-per-view before that? Money in the Bank? It was kind of weird, Money in the Bank was. Uh, it was kind of, that pay-per-view was like all over the place. It was all over the place, but it had some good moments, but it had some crappy matches too. Extreme Rules was pretty much fluid throughout the whole entire pay per view, which if the matches weren't long, they were entertaining, and if they weren't that entertaining, then they were there was a reason for it. Case in point, Asuka and Carmella, that whole thing. Anyways, but Extreme Rules 2018, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot more of the sports entertainment stuff, but I thought it was entertaining throughout. And I was, the only thing I would have switched the AJ and Rusev, I think, should have ended the night, and we should have had the Iron Man match before the AJ match. But see, there's the order was just not right at all at Extreme Rules. I think that they should have had, because I probably wouldn't have put Roman before AJ either. I honestly probably would have opened the show with Roman versus Lashley, to be completely honest. But then that probably wouldn't have made sense either. But I honestly would have opened the show with it because you knew there's like no steam going for it, and you need to have them in a match. So put it on first, get it over with, and then you can continue to build these characters because people don't want to see it. This is, I think, what people wanted to see. They wanted to see Bobby and Roman wrestle, but they don't care about the outcome, nor really. They just wanted to see it happen because they didn't know what was going to happen. That's why I think the intrigue was there for, but they didn't want to see the match. But let's talk about Hulk Hogan for a second, okay? Hulk Hogan reinstating the Hall of Fame. Here's my stance about his thing. It wasn't in the public eye, okay? He did this with not knowing it was going to be released to the public. That's where I think a law should be put into place about a social media law. And maybe somebody's going to see this video, and I really hope to do. And I may do a single video on this on my Brad Tragic thing, of long time video about this, discussing this, because I really do think there should be a social media law put in place that says that if you put out a video yourself and it can, in it, what do you say that? I'm going to say condemn you, but I don't know if that's the right word or not. And you condemn yourself by something you do, it makes you look bad. And that can get you removed from position or whatever. But if someone else is filming you, like I'm saying, like a friend is filming you and you're like, hey, don't put that out. And even you might say that in the video, and I mean, they could edit that out, but you would know if you didn't want that to be released, And if you say yourself that you did not want that to be released and they release it, I mean, that's breaking a friendship right there. If you end up breaking a friendship over a video and you say that that video was not supposed to be released, then, That nothing should come of that because it wasn't you, it was someone else. And I'm not saying they should get in trouble, but they just ruined the friendship with the celebrity or whatever that they just did that to because they just ruined their life and they just put something out there that the world is going to be thinking about and they'll want people something to be done to him, but it's not necessarily their fault. And the thing about Hulk Hogan is he did this in the privacy of a friend's home or his home. I don't know where exactly it took place. I think it was at Bubba Love Sponge's house or his house or something, wherever he was staying. And this happened. But I mean, it wasn't like, it's just like, I could say something about a black person, a Chinese person, a Mexican, and say derogatory comments toward them in my room right now. If I say that in my room and I post this on YouTube, I did that. But let's say one of my friends come over from work or something, and they come over and they film me, and I'm saying all this stuff while I'm drunk or whatever, and it gets released to the public. I didn't want everybody to hear that, okay? And I didn't do it like in the middle of Walmart where I work. I didn't do it in the middle of Walmart. I did it at home because I know that if I say that at my work, Walmart, I'm going to get in trouble. And this is like Hulk Hogan. He knows that if he was in the middle of the ring and he calls a black person the N-word in the front row in the middle of the show, he knows he shouldn't do that. He's not stupid, but he said it on camera. And somebody got him, and they released it. He had no knowledge of it. You think he just said, hey, yeah, release that to the public that I called the N-word? Really? And I think there was maybe some other things that he said, but the whole point of it is he didn't want everybody to hear that. It wasn't something he knew was going to be released to the public. That's why I think there should be a social media law. There's something that states that if someone else films something and that gets released, you are not held accountable for that because it is not supposed to be released to the public. You did not agree for it to be released. It's just like being in a movie. Like if somebody came by filming a movie and I happened to be in the background and they didn't pay me and they put the movie out there, and let's say they get me like yelling at my wife or something, like if they drive by for the movie and they put me in the movie, and they don't ask my permission, they just put the movie out there, I'd sue them because I'd be like, hey, why didn't I get paid? And two, you made me look like a fool because you got me yelling at my wife. Let me put my hair on my wife, kiss her or something, and get me on the movie with that. Anyways, besides the point. Wrestling has been pretty good lately. I'm pretty excited for wrestling. I'm pretty excited because we haven't seen some certain NXT stars, and I kind of wonder if they're going to be coming up to the main roster soon. This is the only thing about NXT that I kind of hate, is everybody's always thinking about, like, when are they going to leave? When are they going to leave? People never really say, like, I think they should stay there a while. And I've said it a couple times, but really, I don't think that's what people are always thinking. They're always thinking, like, man, I can't wait till they get to the main roster. And that's really with a lot of people. There's a lot of people that need tune-ups, though. Definitely. But you kind of see them as they go. Like, a lot of women right now, they don't need to come up yet. They're not ready. And I think that's justified. That's kind of justified because of the fact that, they basically took the entire women's division on NXT and just went to the main roster like a one fell swoop. I mean, we had I think Alexa Bliss and Carmella and what was it? Some other people, and then like this last year, like Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan. I never noticed it kind of rhymed. Anyways, Ruby Riott, and then you had Mandy Moore and Sonya Deville kind of go up, which they weren't even really on TV too much, but Sonya Deville kind of was. But now it's just like the women's division is like, Bianca Belair could probably go to the main roster and she would probably be okay. But some of the other women, they kind of need to fine tune. You can kind of tell like certain things on when they wrestle NXT. You're like, they need to fix that or something before they go main roster. I don't know if that's going to work too well on the main roster. Um, there's some things they need to work on. So the women's wrestling still needs to be worked on a little bit. I'm not even still a huge fan of Shayna Baszler. I think she's got a little bit of stuff to work on too. Um, this certain things she does in the ring. It's hard to explain, but something to me like when you see her in the ring, there seems to be something that's kind of missing from her. I think she just needs to work on how she projects herself because she still kind of projects herself as kind of plain, and she's got to up the charisma a little bit. She's got to be a little bit more cocky and arrogant when she's in the ring. And I think that's what a lot of wrestlers nowadays kind of lack. When you still and you can still watch the old videos, like the old timey wrestlers. They fully embodied that character when they came to the ring, man. Ric Flair, Hogan, Macho Man, they busted it all out. And the Macho Man be doing this all the way down to the ring. Hogan be doing this all the way down to the ring. Flair would be strutting his stuff. I mean, these wrestlers just embodied, like body and soul. They just ate that stuff up, like constantly. And it's just, you don't see that today. You look in their eyes through the camera and you can just tell the way they walk to the ring, the music plays, the way they come out. It's just, there's nothing there. Like they're just a wrestler coming down to the ring. There's nothing. There is nothing there that presents to me that they want to be in this business or they love being that character. And whatever character they're given, a lot of them, they had it when they were in NXT. So if they didn't like the character, they probably should have brought it up then. Or they should have made it what it was in NXT before they came up. I guess one of the big things about Apollo Crews, that's what kind of happened to him. He didn't really get to develop his character too much. And they brought him up. But he wrestled for, I think, like a year almost in NXT. And, I mean, I don't know what else he could have done, really. He's Apollo Crews. And that they don't book him right. They don't book Apollo Crews right. I think he could be over if they did it the right way. I think I watch Steven Larson all the time. If you don't watch them, I don't know what you're missing a lot of stuff. If you don't watch Steven Larson, they're a really cool wrestling thing. If you're watching me and you're not watching Steven Larson, there's a problem. Stop watching Joe Cronin and watch Steven Larson. A more positive. Yeah, well, I don't know why I air quoted. They are more positive. I don't know why I did that. Joe Cronin's all negative Nancy, and so is OTRS Central, whatever he calls himself now. They're all negative Nancy's. They always talk about the negative side of wrestling, and they only ever give you the positives. It's like so stupid. Anyways, that's my thing. I would love to watch them, but it's like all this negativity like coming out about pro wrestling. It's like there is so much going on with wrestling. Who wants to be negative right now? I mean, there's so much wrestling going on right now. I've been watching a lot of shoot interviews lately too. Watched Tommy Rich a little bit on YouTube. Watch a lot of Jim Cornette. Who did I watch? I watched some Bret Hart last night. Pretty interesting stuff. If you have never watched any shoot interviews, definitely check some out. There's a lot of little short clips on YouTube. Interesting, a little short one I watched from Ricky Morton talking. Robert Gibson didn't really say much during that little clip I watched. But Ricky Morton was talking about getting a $13 check in the mail for the WWE Network. And I'm like, what? They don't get paid for that past stuff? You'd think they get some kind of royalty check every month or something. But, I mean, maybe they do get $13 every month. That'd be kind of weird, though. Do you get paid? Wait, hold on. I wonder if WWE would do this. Give them a subscription to the WWE Network for free to pay for the royalties. That'd be horrible. That'd be so horrible. But I mean, really, it should be like YouTube. Like, if somebody watches WrestleMania 8, everybody should get a cut of that check. Like, everybody should be in on that watch. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not like, I don't know how they would do that. Because really, I mean, they've already gotten paid for it. And it's already, half the wrestlers are probably already passed by now. Especially some of the older pay-per-views from like WCW and stuff. But I mean, I don't know how that would even work. If somebody watched, like Starrcade 87 or something, like, how would you even cut that check? Like, by penny a match or something? I mean, I don't know. I mean, some kind of money would probably be better than nothing. Just saying. Maybe if they play the match, but they don't even have the breakdown of the network right. Like when they first initially talked about a type of WWE on demand, they talked about having where you can search a match. But you can't really do that. You can't really do that. Because I've tried, trust me. I tried to type up Raven matches, Raven, and it basically comes up with a bunch of matches. And the way it breaks down, it's stupid. Because it'll have matches, and it'll have the ending of the match, and then the actual match. Who would want to watch just the ending? Really? Do people do that? Like, if you're reviewing a pay-per-view, do you just watch the endings of the match? That would be stupid. How can you review a match if you just see the ending? That's not, no, that's stupid. That's dumb. That's really dumb. I guess if you just want to see who won the match and how it ended, the finish, I don't know. That seems like it's something for them and not for us, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, but state of wrestling. Let's talk about today's wrestling. Let's talk about what's going on. NXT, a lot of bright stars. I was excited to see. Hold on. I'm going to take you with me real quick. Supposedly. Wait, there's pizza. Okay, somebody dropped off pizza. I'm looking out the window. Hello? Taco Bell? Oh, sorry. I had my son coming home soon, so that's why I was looking out the window to make sure it wasn't him coming in. Because that would be embarrassing. Anyways, but NXT has a lot of bright stars. And Undisputed Era, awesome. My question is, from NXT standpoint, NXT UK is becoming a thing. Like I said, we knew there was a UK Championship about a year and a half ago. Nothing was done. Now we know it's a brand. There's still nothing going on. So, at least we're getting somewhere. Now we at least know there's going to be a brand. When they're recording this stuff, oh wait, they did announce tapings. So never mind. I think the tapings are coming soon. So they are doing tapings. But my question for that is that I guess it's not really a question, it's a statement that I hope that they get Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and Trent Seven out of there as soon as possible. Because the way they describe some of the stuff is that the NXT off brands would feed in the NXT. So basically what they're saying is, I don't know how long they would go through or not the off brands, but like the other country brands. I don't know, what do you call that? I know what you would call that. I'm trying to think of the right word. The other countries' farm systems. There you go. Like the UK farm system, and I think they're working on a Japan farm system. Maybe even Australia. Who knows? But the farm systems that they would be pulling from, the NXT farm systems, other than the main one, they'd feed into them. So how long would they have to stay in the farm system before they brought them up? Would they... Because if the farm system is going to be on the WWE Network, there'll be storylines going on. How long do you want the storylines to go for? Would you do them normally? And how long is Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and Trent Seven going to be on there? Because evidently they're going to be on there because they're major stars. It's going to draw people to want to watch that show. But they did a lot for the company. They need to get them out of there as soon as possible. They need to put other UK wrestlers over and get these other wrestlers to be popular and then move on. Move them on to the NXT brand, which they're already a part of really right now. They're just, I think, going to be there to get the brand started. That's what they need to be there for. So with that being said, I'm super excited to see what the NXT UK brand is going to do, and I'm really going to start watching NXT a lot more when the UK thing happens. Right now, there's just no need for me to watch. Usually, I watch like the week prior to the takeover, or I'll watch a random one. Like every couple weeks, I watch an episode. This week, I am going to watch. I'm probably going to watch it tonight, later on. But Yeah, there is so much going on in wrestling. Right, it's crazy how much wrestling is going on. I can't keep up with New Japan. I don't even have enough time to watch Ring of Honor. And plus, Ring of Honor, I have to watch it on like some app on my phone, and that's stupid. I don't understand that. Why can't they just be on a channel somewhere? Like they're on like Charge TV, I think, and most people don't have that. But you can watch it on the app. I think that is an app as well, kind of like Comet, but they went off a Comet. I don't know. It's confusing. It's very confusing, Ray Bonner. Impact though is on Pluto. Wait, no, they're on something. I can't remember what it was, but you can watch the most current. I think it's the GFW app, or what's it called? Global Wrestling Alliance app, or whatever the hell it's called. Whatever that app is, you can watch it on that app. That's the only thing good to come from, I think, the Jeff Jarrett thing. Coming back to Impact, but yeah, that. They had the past, or they had the most current, I think, Impact episode you can watch on there, which is really, really cool. So I want to start watching it on there because I really want to keep up to date. I think that's the one thing that's going to keep them going is if they keep that on the app and keep, like, somehow for other people to watch the show. I really need to start watching it, though. It's getting really good. I mean, Hernandez and Homicide's back. Uh, Tessa Blanchard signed a contract. She's gonna probably get the women's championship soon. I would assume. Um, and so much other things going on, man. I mean, Tommy Dreamer is on there wrestling a match, which I'm sure he's not gonna be on there like forever. He's just putting over Eddie Edwards. Yeah, that's it. That's his name. Which, like I said, I haven't seen a lot of Impact recently, so I don't know a lot of people's names sometimes on there. Brian Cage, I don't really know much about him. I know he's taking on Eddie Edward or Matt Sydal for the X Division Championship at I think the Slammiversary is the pay-per-view coming up. I think what it is. So it's kind of funny because not too long ago everybody was like TNA, Impact Wrestling, and now everybody's talking about Impact Wrestling. And it's probably a lot to do with Don Callis being a part of it now. But I think, and I said this a long time ago, like, if there's any promotion that could come back, Impact could do it. Because they've been the only company that's even gave a shot at going up against WWE. And they did. They tried. They really did try. But they just fell short because they couldn't keep the creative going. They couldn't match. They had all the talent in the world. And they failed to compete with WWE. It's like, are you shitting me? Like, you legitimately had AJ Styles in your company. You could have made him the World Heavyweight Champion. You had Joe in your company. Think about this. Go back and see when Hogan was in TNA. Look at all the talent they had. And they still could not book a promising show to compete with the WWE. Think about that. And then go back and see who WWE had at that time. Because I don't even remember. I didn't even watch TNA back in that time. Because it was still TNA, I think. Or were they trying to change an Impact? I don't think they were trying to change an Impact. It was like right after they kind of failed that they went to Impact. Because they're trying to get attention. And they're like, hey, they're changing names over here. But before that, I'm pretty sure they were TNA. And they're sitting there trying to compete with Monday Night Raw. And it's like, but I didn't hear anything about it. And the funny thing about it is, like I said, if it would have been really popular, people would have made a big noise. Boom, over here. And people would have looked. Evidently, they didn't make a loud enough noise. And I heard so many times over the past few years, or over the time that TNA was in existence, that when TNA was a TNA thing, that why isn't AJ holding the championship? Why isn't Samoa Joe holding the championship? They had so many times and opportunities to put those guys at the top of the company. And they were the reason, the sole reason, and I know I'm not lying, for so many people said over the course of the years, why do you watch TNA? And people would say AJ Styles. And the other secondary answer would be Samoa Joe. Christopher Daniels, Chris Sabin, like so many other wrestlers. It used to be also America's Most Wanted. I never really heard Beer Money. I hear Beer Money now, but I never heard Beer Money back then. America's Most Wanted was one that I always heard a long time ago. But yeah, I mean, holy shit, man. They had it right in their hands. And even Dixie Carter had it. You had AJ Styles. Anyways, it's so irritating to look back on wrestling and see what they could have done. And like knowing what if they just pay attention. That's what that's what annoys me to no ends nowadays in professional wrestling. The end state of wrestling, I just want to make a brief little rant at the end of this thing. Social media, one of the biggest things going on right now, ruins people's lives, okay? Okay? You get this, right? We understand this, right? Ruins people's lives. People listen to everything everybody says. The fans are legitimately telling you who we want to see at the top, who we like, what you should change about certain people. I would like this wrestler if he did this. And I'm not even talking about Roman Reigns, but great example. But like, perfect example would be, I think one of the perfect examples is, I just saw an interview with Tyson Kidd. He's injured, he can't wrestle no more, hurt, muscle buster, got on the point. Whole discussion, whole other discussion for another day. But the point was, when he was wrestling with Cesaro, they didn't book him in matches like that. Why did he get injured? He was in NXT, for God's sakes, wrestling people in NXT. Why was he wrestling in NXT? He should have been on the main roster, wrestling with Cesaro in tag matches. Great tag team. I wasn't really into him, really, but I'm sure if I would have seen more of it, I probably would have liked it. Wasn't really a huge fan, though. But they were pretty. I heard they were pretty decent in the ring. Need to go back and watch some of their stuff, I think. But so many people that were like, man, if they just would let them do this to this character, and you could see it everywhere. They'll post the YouTube videos. Hire somebody, Vince. Good God, Vince McMahon. Hire somebody to just look at your social media. Look at people that talk about the WWE. Look at people that talk about your professional wrestlers. You have got the biggest opportunity to make your company great again. And I don't think he's listening. His ears are closed and he's not listening. That is a problem. You have this thing in front of you called the internet. The World Wide Web, whatever you want to call it, old man. Anyways, the WWE has been a great success. You've done a great job running the company. But now you're starting to kind of run out of ideas. You're running tread on some of the wrestlers that are such great athletes. AJ Styles, you're doing a great job with him. I understand you're doing a great job with him. But you got guys like Rusev that you're just treading water with. You got guys like Finn Balor, who you got Brock Lesnar, who's holding the goddamn championship hostage. I don't understand. Roman Reigns being shoved down our throats. We've said that a billion times. I don't know how you haven't seen that on social media. And you continue to do it. And another reason is, you got YouTube videos about Bobby Lashley. He came from Impact. What was he doing over there? He was doing good heel work. You brought him in as a babyface. And I can understand you bring him in as a babyface, because that's what we knew him as. But he should have went heel, like very, very shortly after he came back. He should have literally, before he fought Roman, or even at the end of the match, at Extreme Rules, first time they fought, he should have legitimately took a chair and beat the living shit out of Roman. Have a group with him, America's Top Team, or somebody else. I don't know who you put with him. Probably if you're going to put a group with him, you're probably going to put Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews. It would work. Turn Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil heel. They're kind of heel. Kind of. But I don't know if Titus' character would really work that way. So I don't know who you put with Bobby Lashley to be a bad guy. I'm trying to think of a team. I mean, maybe Heath Slater and Rhino. But Rhino's probably on his way out, I would assume. I'm thinking Slater needs to get a tag partner. So I don't know who you'd put with him. Really, I mean, I really don't. I mean, Lars Sullivan would be a good tag partner maybe for him when he comes in. If Rhino's going to go out, maybe have them get a tag title shot, and Rhino can't wrestle, and say Slater's got another partner, and end up being Lars Sullivan. They win the tag team titles. That'd be kind of interesting. I think that'd be kind of interesting. Anyways, 30 minutes is way, way too long for this video, but I think that could be a time limit. I can kind of set on my state of wrestling. I rant and rave about different things. I don't even know what the hell I'm going to put in the subject of the title, but it is State of Wrestling. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know about topics to talk about in the topical videos. And also let me know what you want to talk about next time in the State of Wrestling, because I don't want to just stick to talking about what happened on Raw, what happened at the last pay-per-view, or last couple of pay-per-views. Talk about random stuff that I want to talk about. Boom. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. Put comments down below what you thought about everything I talked about, and maybe I'll expound on some of them next State of Wrestling. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. I'll catch you guys later. Keep rocking. Keep on talking and watching and dreaming and performing. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyways, keep rocking and keep watching wrestling. Later, guys.